we were talking about how to solve the number series. Okay, we were doing the part which is comprehension. We started with statements, do as directed. That means a statement was given and you are reading the statement and accordingly you are interpreting what has been asked in the question and we are finding out what has been asked. Okay, accordingly from the options we will select the correct answer. The second part that we started with was numbers. In number series we have seen a series is given by them. We don't have any standard series over here. For every particular question a different series is given by them, or maybe a series is given and followed by 2-3 questions are asked on it. Okay, initially we had seen single numbers that are being asked. We'll have one more example where 3-digit numbers are given in the series. Okay, and see the type of question that is being asked on it. The series is number 146, 234, 57, 42, 503, 432, 300 and 663. Okay, so these are numbers that are given in the series. Okay, we have already said that when a number series is given to us, we will not directly start working on it. We will first read the entire question and then we will decide what is the plan of action by us. So let us see, or let us read the entire question what has been given. In the following number series, how many even numbers are there that are divisible by 3? So we need to have two things, or the knowledge of two things are being asked over here. First, I should know what are called as even numbers, and second, I should know how do I find out the number which is divisible by 3. Okay, even numbers and odd numbers. So knowledge of even numbers and odd numbers is if the last digit is 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0, then the number is an even number. If the last digit is 1359, 13579 rather, 7 is also there, so then it is a odd number. So first let us check out the first criteria that has been given to us. Okay, so which even numbers are there? This is an even number, this is also even number, this is the odd number, so it has to be cancelled. Even, odd, and this is also odd. So all odd numbers are being cancelled out from here. Now out of these what are left, we should know how many are divisible by 3. First I should know the divisibility test of 3. What does the divisibility test say? Divisibility test says that addition of all the digits in a number should be divisible by 3. Now few numbers which at glance you can see, 42, yes, 4 plus 2 is 6. This is divisible. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 4, 9. 9 is again divisible. 4 plus 1, 5 plus 6, 11, which is not divisible. Okay, again here 4 plus 3, 7, 8, 9, divisible. 300, divisible. Okay, so out of the numbers which are even numbers, again I'll have one more number which is being cancelled because it is not divisible by 3. So my two criterias or two conditions that were given was, one was it should be even number. Okay, so first criteria was even number, second criteria was divisible by 3. It should be divisible by 3. So these were two conditions that were given, okay, on this particular question, on this particular series. Okay, now imagine I have to do all this in 1 minute. So how fast I have to be, how quick I have to be. Okay, about the knowledge that I have, about the implementation of the knowledge that I have. Okay, so even numbers and odd numbers are not something which is very difficult. We know them, right? So as soon as I saw the series and I read the first condition, I was clear. I should know what is even and what is odd. Second thing what I should know was divisibility test, which are already taught to you in 4th standard. We'll be again revising all the tests when we do other sessions. Okay, so over here we needed was divisibility test of 3. So I told you what is the divisibility test. Divisibility test of 3 says that the addition of all the digits in the number should be divisible by 3. So quickly what I had to do, I had to add each and every digit in that particular number and check out whether it is divisible by 3. And so correct answer would be, how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so total there are only 4 numbers in the entire series which are even and they are divisible by 3. Maybe the question sounds to be a little big. We say that it is not big, but the difficulty level is a little higher. Now when you go through the questions, you will see that in scholarship examination, you don't have all questions of same difficulty level. Some questions are so easy. At a glance, you will get the answer of it. Whereas in some questions like this, you need to have knowledge. You need to work out something. Some operations on those numbers, alphabets has to be done. Okay. So on an average, we say every question has 1 minute. Allotment is 1 minute. But we don't require 1 minute for every question. Some questions are so easy or they don't require much of efforts on it. So they can be completed say in 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So that time what is left over from that particular question can be utilized for such questions which we call as little difficult questions. Okay, we'll go to one more question where the series is given and they have asked you a question based on that series. Okay, the series is 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, 61, 71, 81 and 91. You can say it's a particular series which is been written with a difference of 10 and the series starts with 1. Now, what is the question that is based on it is more important. Has they asked you that what is the difference between every number? No, this was the first at a glance information that we got. Okay, see what is the question asked. How many prime numbers are there in the series? So your basic question over here is, do we know prime numbers? Okay, now we'll write down all the prime numbers on one side. Okay, before that I'll tell you what is a prime number. The number which is divisible only by 1 and the number itself is called a prime number. Okay, from 1 to 100 there are 25 prime numbers. What is our request is, you are supposed to by heart all those prime numbers, because it is not possible that every time you are going to write down all the numbers and then find out whether it is divisible or it is not divisible. Okay, that is not the task that will be done in the examination. So what is expected is you are supposed to by heart the prime numbers. We'll give you the list of prime numbers. Fine. In this series, how many prime numbers are there? So it is 11. We know the number 1, which is there in all the tables, will not be considered as a prime number. 1 is neither a composite number or a prime number. Okay. Now what is composite number? The numbers which are not prime are composite numbers. Okay. So the numbers which occur in different tables are going to be composite numbers. Prime numbers will be the numbers which occur only in one and the number itself. Okay. So the number which is divisible by itself and 1 is a prime number. So 11 is one such number which is divisible only by 1 and 11. 21, no, it occurs in 3's table. It occurs in 1's table also. 31, yes, it's a prime number. 41 is a prime number. 51, again, even if you go by this divisibility test, you will see that 5 plus 1 is 6. So it is divisible by 3. So this is not a prime number. 61, yes, 61 is a prime number. 71 is also a prime number. 81, 8 plus 1 is 9. So it is not a prime number. It occurs in 3's table also. It occurs in 9's table also. Okay. So it is not a prime number. 91 also is not a prime number because you will see that it is divisible by 7. Okay. so it is not a prime number. So total 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In the entire series you had only 5 numbers which are prime numbers. Now it took time for me. I went number by number, then I checked out whether it is a prime number or it is not a prime number. But if I was aware or if I had by hearted those prime numbers, then it would have been easy for me to find out whether it is a prime number or it is not a prime number. So our suggestion is you are supposed to by heart all the prime numbers from 1 to 100. We'll display the list of that later on. Okay, we'll do one more example on this and then we'll shift to alphabets. Find the sum of the digits in the greatest number from the numbers given below. Okay, a series is given below. A series is a small series. See the type of question that has been asked. Series is 37, 44, 45, 52 and 49. Okay, series is not very big. The series consists of 2-digit numbers. And what is asked is find the sum of the digits in the greatest number from the numbers that is given below. Okay. Now, which is the greatest number in all of these numbers? We all know the number which is greatest is its tens place should be greatest. Okay. So, in this number series, we will say 52 is the greatest number. And what is the addition of the digits into it? 5 plus 2 is 7. So, in my options, do I have that answer? Of course, I am going to have that answer. Okay, so my correct answer is the greatest number in this series. See, it was a basic knowledge, very basic knowledge. Okay, you will see that in 5th standard scholarship examination, you are having, or the knowledge that has been checked is right from your 1st standard. It's not like you'll have syllabus based only on 5th standard. Greater number, smaller number. Okay, this is the knowledge which we learn in 1st standard. So, in this given series, and all these are 2-digit numbers, not very big numbers. Okay. So, it is a very simple type of a question. Only thing, my interpretation should be correct. My understanding of the question should be correct. So, when I am reading it, I should interpret it properly. When you are reading the question, take little more time. Okay. And see that you are interpreting it in correct way. So, the greatest number is what was my first task. So, in this series, the greatest number is 52. What is the second thing that has been asked? They have asked you what is the sum of, okay, addition of the digits in that greatest number. So, 2 digits in the number is 5 and 2 and their addition is 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So, this type of a question is a very simple question, what you call. Okay, a very less difficulty level. Okay, a simplest type of a question. We'll go for one more in this and then we'll shift to alphabet series. Find the middle place number if the numbers. Okay, now something which is not very difficult but it will take a little of time. So let me see how can I save my time. The number series is 215, 512, 152, 351 and 712. Okay. Now, these are the numbers that are given in the series. All are 3-digit numbers and they are so confusing if you see them. 1, 2, 5. Okay. These are the digits, they have been jumbled here and there. Okay. Now, what is being asked? That find the middle place number if the numbers are arranged in the ascending order. So, knowledge that I require here is what is descending order, what is ascending order. Okay. First, that is the knowledge that I require. Then it is immediate, quick action. I don't have time that I'll check all of them, then I write them. Okay. So, how many do I have? See the total numbers in the series 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That means whether I write in ascending or descending, the third number will be the middle number. Okay. So do I need to write all the 5 numbers? No. I want a middle number. Okay. The middle place number has been asked to me. So I'll be writing these numbers in ascending order. Ascending means smaller to bigger. So which is the smallest number? This. 1, 2 and 3. That's all. 3, 5, 1. It's not like my regular exam. I don't need to refresh. I don't need to write again everything. I'm not going to waste my time in doing that. Okay. What do I do is, on the paper itself, I just count. This is the smallest, this is second, this is third. So the third number in the series, ascending series, will be the middle position. Okay, I don't need to go for these two. No one is going to see whether I've completed the question or not. What has been asked, stop there. Okay, so important task here is you need to interpret the question properly. Don't need to go ahead. Stop wherever your answer is given to you. Wherever you get your answer, you need to stop there. You don't need to complete the entire process. Okay, so even if it was little difficult, little time consuming, my smartness will show me or will allow me to save my time. My practice will allow me to save my time. Okay, so knowledge that you needed here was ascending order. What is ascending order? What is descending order? So if I write the numbers from smaller to bigger is ascending order. If I write it from bigger to smaller is descending order. This is the basic knowledge that I required over here. Okay, but how do I use it is what is more important. Now we'll go to the last topic of comprehension. Right? The last topic will be alphabet series. Last topic of this particular comprehension part is alphabet series. When you say alphabet series, we have already written the alphabet series if you see on the blackboard. Okay. We have initially started with this only. I told you what is alphabet series. So these are alphabets from A to Y, which are 25 alphabets from your normal alphabetical series. If you see, I have numbered them. Okay, you'll number each of them and try to see that you're going to by heart, which is the 7th letter, which is the 8th letter, and etc. If you'll see, I've numbered them on both the sides. This is from left to right, conventional method, and right to left, which is we call a reverse method. Now, when questions are asked, you'll have questions based on both the ways. So, in every group, I have numbered first and last letter. There are 5 groups, and 5 fives are 25 alphabets. Okay, we have also said which is the middle alphabet. Middle alphabet will be middle from both the sides. Okay, so M is the middle alphabet. What are type of questions that are asked is more interesting. Okay, we have also said which is the right hand side and which is the left hand side of the series. Now, in the above series, which is the letter adjacent to M but not adjacent to O. Okay, now what is the information when you say adjacent? Adjacent means next to, okay, without any gap. So the question is, which is the letter which is adjacent to M, which is next to M? Next to M, you'll have 2 letters. One is L and the other is N. Have they asked you both the letters? No. The second condition says the letter should not be next to or adjacent to O. Okay, so which is next to M but not next to O? That is L. So simple. Only thing, this alphabetical series will be there in the question paper. Our request is, in your answer sheet, okay, backside of your question paper, see that you are writing the alphabet series and you are numbering it in your answer sheet. Okay, rather in your final examination in your question paper, so that it becomes easy for you to analyze it. You will have n number of questions in classification also, in comprehension also, okay, based on alphabetical series. See the next question that you have. In the given alphabetical series, which is the 9th letter from the right end. Okay, now we know which is the right end. Do I need to count? When I have numbered them, you will see that it becomes very easy to find out this is the 9th letter. Okay, So if I have numbered it, this task of doing this particular type of question becomes very easy for me. And that is a request why we tell you to number it. So this is 9th. From right hand side is asked. If it is asked from left hand side, I is the 9th one. Okay. So right, left and position numbers, if they are already written to you, it becomes easy for you. You don't require much efforts on it. Now, in the above alphabetical series, which is the letter at the middle place between E and S. Now, they are asking you between E and S. Where is E? So, this is your E. From E and S, how many letters are there? That you will find out. When you say in between, okay, see what does the question say? In the above alphabetical series, which is the letter at the middle place between E and S. Between means E will not be seen, E will not be considered, S also will not be considered. How many alphabets are there? 5 plus 5, 10 plus 3, 13. Okay. How do we calculate it? How do we calculate the middle letter? So 13 plus 1 divided by 2. This is the formula to find out the middle letter. Okay. So 13 alphabets. Total alphabets 5 plus 3 over here. Remember, we are not taking E, we are not taking S also. The question says between E and S. So word between means the first and the last letter of that series from where it has been counted should not be included. Okay. So 13 alphabets are there, plus 1 divided by 2 will give me the middle number, that is 7. So after E, which is the 7th one, so these are 5, 6 and 7. So my answer is L. Okay. Was it easy? Because I had already written them in the group of 5. Had I not done that, my alphabet series is written normally. What do we write? Then I sit and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is time consuming. So whenever you are doing alphabetical series, it has to be written in groups. Okay. Make a habit that these are so much in front of your eyes that their number positions is by hearted by you. So you don't need to count again and again. This time is being saved. Remember, scholarship exam doesn't check only your knowledge. It's also checking the efficiency of how fast, how quickly or how smart work can you do. Okay? Then we'll do one more question based on it. In the given alphabetical series, which is the letter at the 3rd place to the right of the letter, which is at the 9th place to the letter to the left of the letter T. Very confusing. Okay. So we'll go step by step. See the first part of the question. Which letter is at the 3rd place to the right of the letter, which is at 9th place to the left of the letter T? So we are starting from the reverse, from the last part. What is our last part? Last part is T. So we want the letter which is 9th to the T. On which side? Obviously on the left hand side, because to the right hand side of T you don't have anything which is 9th. Okay. So very smart. You don't need to find out which is right and left. Okay. So if this T, from T we are counting. So these are 4 and these are 5. So this is the 9th one. Okay. Now K is to the 9th. Now this K, okay, the 3rd place to the right of this K. Right hand side. Again we will go in the same direction from where we came back. Okay. So 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer is N. To the number we are saying. You always say when it is to, K won't be counted. If it is from K, K would have been counted. Okay. So to that particular letter they are asking you. So we will not count K. It is 1, 2 and 3. So your correct answer is N. So while reading the question, you felt it is very difficult. But when you are solving it, if you solve it step by step, you will see that the difficulty level comes down. The time that you would require to solve those questions come down. Okay. Now, how do you practice this? Practicing this is you prepare your own questions. Okay. That is more easy. Now, sometimes some words are also formed. Meaningful word we'll see. Right? From the given alphabetical series, a meaningful word is formed by taking 11th letter from the right and 14th letter from the left. Okay, which of the following is an antonym of that word? So the word which we have is only 2-letter word. How is that formed? It is 11th from the left, 11th from the right, and 14th from the left. So from the left, which is at 14th, it is N, and 11th from the right is O. Okay. So my word that is already been asked, okay, or that has been given here from the letters, information that I have is no. But is this asked? This is not asked. What is asked is the antonym of this word, the opposite of the word. Opposite of the word on. Okay. Now, even if it is no over here, I can use this as on also, because in my options I don't have yes. What do I have? I have off. My options are come, on, no, and off. O double F, off. Okay. Now, because my option is off, here even if this is also correct, this is also correct. No is also correct, on is also correct. Opposite to on will be off. And hence the correct option in this question is off. So it was a higher difficulty level question where you had so many things to be done. Right hand side, left hand side, number positions were given. You have to find out those letters. You have to find out the correct word, a meaningful word out of it. Not only that, these 2 letters in positions are meaningful. You also had to find out a word which is opposite to it and which is meaningful, which is in your option. So we say that this is a high level difficulty question. But even if we say it's a high level difficulty question, if you concentrate and do it, you will not require much time, and it is answerable. It is what you call, you can attempt it. It's not like impossible. Okay, if you do it systematically, step by step. So first step was 11th and 14th. So these were the numbers that were given, position numbers. So if you are correct on that, you would have got a correct number. Correct alphabets were given. Finding out correct alphabets, you should have written correct word. After getting the correct word, you should find out a opposite of it. Now, if I got the correct word as no, I would be searching for yes. Fine, it's not there. That doesn't mean that my interpretation was wrong. Can I go from answers to the question? Yes. My options were off was there in my option. So I went from that option. Again, I went back and I changed the word that I got. So instead of no, it would have been on also. So on, off is a pair of antonyms. And this was the correct answer. So sometimes you need options to come to the correct interpretation. So it's not like you read only the question. Also go to the options that you have so that you can conclude with the correct option. So a key for doing comprehension is you need to be very good in language. I need to answer. I need to read the question correctly. I need to interpret it correctly. And then I decide what is my action plan. What are the actions or what is the information from my knowledge that I require for that particular question. Once I know this and I have that information, then how do I implement it? How do I use this information to get the correct option? Sometimes, like in this question, my information was correct. I concluded to the correct word, but then there was no answer in the options. So what did I do? I again checked on my options. I interpreted that what could be the word. Maybe my word would be different from what I was seeing. Now here maybe I interpreted or I started with no and I was searching for yes. Somebody would start with on and they would be searching for off. Wherein maybe in the options there was no off. There was yes in the option. Right in the option. Okay. So correct in the option. So you need to have vocabulary, a good amount of vocabulary good knowledge of alphabets, good knowledge of numbers, okay, is required for comprehension. Again, I repeat, comprehension here in scholarship doesn't mean that you are reading an entire paragraph and you are doing questions based on it. But what it is you are reading a single sentence, maybe 2-3 sentences together, okay, which are giving you information and which is followed by a question. So you have to interpret that question properly. You have to understand what is the task that has been given in that question, and accordingly, if you perform, then you come to the correct answer from your options. Okay, so this is all in your comprehension.